Alive on the Moon, Mounjaro, it's on the pen alive, with your host David Knapp.
Thank you, Clap Track, and happy Thursday night. It's on the pen live. I'm Dave Knapp, man on the Mounjaro. That's why I'm here. You are on the pen. Saxenda, Wegovy, Victoza, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Trulicity, pen. That's why you're here. And we're all here to enjoy community. That's what this whole deal is about. Even when I am tired and exhausted and haven't had a lot of time to prepare, what is here always is the best community. And we share our experiences. We share what we're going through. We share our trials, our tribulations, our ups, our downs, our highs, our lows. We all come here. We share them together. This community is so great. A special welcome to those of you who are members of the channel, those of you who give back every month. $2.99 a month is all it costs to become a member of this channel, and it supports the work that I do over here at On the Pen. And so a special welcome to our members tonight. Let me just shout them out. We got Sue the Dude. We got KT, Nicole. We've got Mel, Tammy, Deliza. We've got Sabrina. We've got Tammy. We've got Anna. We've got Abby. We've got Cheryl. We've got PMAC. Welcome, PMAC. We've got Derek. We've got Natalie, I'm retired, and Twinkle Ann, who is one of the newest members of the On the Pen family and OG Mounjaro. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being the best part of what we do at Man on the Mounjaro. How are you tonight? How is everybody doing tonight? How was our week? What were some of our ups? What were some of our downs? If you're new here, if you're new in the chat, please put an N in the chat next to your name so I can welcome you by name, because we love to have new people here. Pug on Mounjaro is here. He's at the gym doing his gym thing. He also posted a video this week. Make sure you get over and check out Pug's channel as well. And we welcome Pug to the channel. It's always good to have him here as well. So thank you for being here. We've got a great show tonight. We've got our normal segments, our housekeeping, our what's fresh, and our fake news segments. But we've got, instead of a guest tonight, we've got a new segment. Who's ready for a new segment on the pen? The segment will be, kind of loosely just having the community, you here, you who are in the chat, helping to answer a question that came up from another community member this week. So we'll be excited to get to that. That'll be the third segment that we will do tonight. And if you have any questions tonight, Zumba, who's new here, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. If you have questions, put them in the chat with a Q next to your name. Just put Q. And then if that's addressed at me, I will try to see it. I always see it if it's a super chat because it pops up real big and colorful on my screen. So if you have something that you would like me to answer specifically, consider a super chat that I can see, or put a Q next to your name, and one of my mods will try to highlight that for me as well. Hey, Alma, welcome to the stream. So yeah, good to have you here tonight. We're going to get started with our first segment of the night, which is our housekeeping. Let's get it going.
Housekeeping.
You want mint for pillow? Housekeeping is a segment where we just talk a little bit about what's going on the channel. Not a super busy week in the news of Mounjaro for me. I mean, there was things that went on, but honestly, life has been so busy. I haven't had the chance to make a ton of content this week. But we have done some live streams, some Q&As. So it's been good to get on here with all of you. AC's welcome to the stream. He's excited, or they are excited for the new segment. I don't know, he or she. But yeah, good to have you here. Good to have all the new visitors here to the stream. Welcome, Brent. Welcome back. So yeah, we did some live streams this week. So if you are not following me, you can find me over on the other socials too. I am on Twitter, X. I am on YouTube, obviously here, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And then you can always catch me over on thepen.com. This show is brought to you in part by my little company called On the Pen Marketing. So if you know somebody with a small business that would like to take their marketing to the next level, have them reach out at onthepenmarketing.com, onthepenmarketing.com. And it's also brought to you by our friends at the Plus Sides podcast. So Kim and her crew over at the Plus Sides podcast, where they interview doctors and people from the community, and the people from the community get to come on, share their experience, and then their experiences are validated by medical professionals. And they have a great thing going over there at the Plus Sides podcast. We just help each other out because we're in this for the same reason we're in this, for the community. They had an interview with Rosie O'Donnell, which was super cool. So if you haven't checked that out yet, make sure that you get over there and check that out. So yeah, the gals over at the Plus Sides are fans of Man on the Mounjaro, and Man on the Mounjaro is fans of them. So thank you to Kim and her crew for promoting Man on the Mounjaro over there. And we do the same over here. Joseph said, glad I didn't get sick. Yeah, and I'm knocking on wood that it doesn't happen. So a little bit of housekeeping in my life. There's been a lot of Lysol and Clorox wipes going on in this house, because is anybody sick in the chat? Has anybody been homesick this week with the gnarliest stomach issues? It is going around like mad. And so that hit our household. Our household has been no exception. And so my wife has been down for the last day and a half. So pulling double duty the last couple of days. And before that, of course, you knew that my son was sick and my daughter was sick for a couple of days. It was just like ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Like once somebody gets better, somebody else falls. And so I'm fortunate. I was expecting fully to not be able to be here tonight because I was feeling sketch. Pug, don't say that too loud, buddy. Pug said he's not, but he did call out. Natalie's father has strep. Weird. Yeah, it's like usually this stuff waits until school's in full force to happen, right? But it's like people were sick before school even started here. So it's a whole deal. So if you are not feeling well, I hope that you get feeling better. Mel, get feeling better. Pug, get feeling better. My wife, Jenny, the love of my life, the apple of my eye, I hope that she gets feeling better. I think she's starting to turn a corner. She started a new job last week as a kindergarten teacher. First time working outside the home in 10 years. All 4 of our kids switched from homeschooling to now they're all in the same school, which is where my wife is at. So super, super awesome for our family, but big adjustments in the Knapp household. So forgive me if the next couple of weeks of shows are a little bit less comprehensive than usual. We'll hit a stride again, but I appreciate you all being here. Vanessa, welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight, Vanessa? Good to have you here. Yeah, so that's what's going on. She's really liking the job, Abby. She was made for it. I mean, she was absolutely made for the job. So she loves it. We knew that she would. It's just the adjustment has been crazy adjustment for the family. So all good things, right? All good things. And so we just got to hit a new stride with the family. And we're starting to. It's just a big adjustment for everybody. So thank you for bearing with me during those life changes. Really appreciate that. So we're going to go ahead and move past the housekeeping segment, and we're going to get right into what is fresh, right? So usually this is where we go through and we talk about things that I covered throughout the week on the channel. There wasn't a ton of that this week for me, but there was stuff in the news. And so we're going to talk about some of the stuff that happened in the news. This one, shout out to the Janine. If you're not following the Janine, I haven't seen her in the chat tonight. She's overseas on vacation. So shout out to the Janine. If you're not following her, make sure you give her a follow over her on YouTube. She is one of the members of the Plus Sides crew, right? That we were just talking about a minute ago. But she put out a video that I thought was so helpful and useful. So if you can see in the description of this video, there's a link to Mounjaro.com. And I'm just going to share it on my screen here in just a moment. Share it with you all. Present. As soon as it decides it's going to cooperate, that is. Maybe it's not going to cooperate. Okay, now it is. All right. All right. Mounjaro.com. This is linked in the description of this video. If you have been denied coverage for Mounjaro, Eli Lilly themselves, at the link in the description of this video, have provided an outline to composing a letter of medical necessity for Mounjaro. And so for informational purposes only, they have provided this information here where they've given you kind of an outline of what to include in a letter of medical necessity. So if you are trying to stay on Mounjaro, if you have been kicked off Mounjaro by your insurance provider, this is going to be the outline of how to write, compose with your doctor, kind of a continuation of care from, continuing to use it for medical necessity. And then they even have an outline here of, something that you can put together with your doctor to get that continuation of care, right? So that is super helpful for those of you who are looking for, kind of an outline for something like this. Eli Lilly is providing it directly at Mounjaro.com. The link is in the description of this video. So if you need that, now you got it, right? And again, that one comes compliments of the Janine, who has been with us for a long, long time on this channel and now is making her own content, great content. And so you got to do yourself a favor and check out Janine's channel. Vanessa makes a great point when she says that you got to remember that the coverage for Mounjaro is based upon what your employer picks if you're relying on employer benefits, right? And so Mounjaro obviously is only approved for type 2 diabetes by the FDA. So chances are, if you're not diabetic, your employer's plan is not going to cover Mounjaro for an off-label use. But that doesn't mean that you can't fight it. That doesn't mean that you can't ask for an exception or an exclusion. And so that's what some of these letters that are out there, these boilerplates, that you can work with your doctor to write up if you and your doctor deem that it is medically necessary to kind of fight for that coverage. And then Vanessa also makes a point that says you need to make sure Wegovy is on the formulary so you can get Mounjaro when it finally comes around. Yeah, because if you can't get Wegovy right now, chances are you don't have coverage for weight loss medications on your plan. And so don't expect that when Mounjaro is approved for weight loss that you will have it there too. So great points, as always, from our friend Vanessa in the chat. Joseph says, how smart of them to keep this on there for users. Absolutely. In their best interest. So absolutely useful information. Thanks again to the Janine TJ for providing that excellent information. Now, I don't have a link to this. This was just a comment shared by a user. Welcome, Mia. How are you tonight? Hey, if you're new here and you're in the chat here, put an N next to your name so I can welcome you by name. We love having you here. Especially new people. So let us know what medication you're on. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat with a Q next to your name or send it with a super chat so I can see it on my screen. And we will get your questions answered. We are all about equipping people to have intelligent conversations with their doctors, with their insurance providers, with their pharmacists. So here is where we can come and talk about the issues that we're facing, whether it's accessibility issues, side effect issues, anything like that. We come here, we talk about it, and then you're equipped to go have the right conversations with your medical team, right? Brent suggests using Google's Bard to write your PA for you. Yeah, I'm sure ChatGPT-4 probably does really good at that as well. But yeah, both of them I think are probably pretty solid options. I'm not sure about ChatGPT 3.5, but ChatGPT 4, especially with the plugins, is lit. I love that. And Mimi, did you jump in here? Hey, how are you, Mimi? Welcome to the channel. Mimi's a new channel member as well, so thank you for being here, Mimi. She had a recent update too. A big update on her channel. So make sure you get over and give Mimi a subscribe as well. She makes great content. Any of the AI tools, Brent says. Yeah, for sure. Vanessa said, remember, if your plan does not include weight loss, do not put on the appeal or PA obesity or weight loss, or it's an automatic denial. Could be. That is probably a good pro tip. But if there are reasons that you're taking it and that your doctor deems it medically necessary, like I had a back and forth conversation with a gal today in the chat who was on for weight loss. She hit her weight loss goal and her doctor yanked the prescription, right? But it was helping with her rheumatoid arthritis. And as I wanted to point out, but didn't have the time to go back to it, you can talk to your doctor and show your doctor the recent studies, the Surmount studies that have come out very recently on the importance of staying on a maintenance dose of this medication, or the weight comes back for most people in these clinical trials. So cite those studies. Those studies are compelling evidence for doctors who aren't as familiar with these medications to go, oh, well, that's interesting information. Let's talk about a maintenance dose for you. Right. So if the insurance wasn't the problem, but getting the script from the doctor is a problem, then you should be able to equip yourself with having intelligent conversations again about, maintenance dosing and the importance of staying on a GLP-1 to maintain the weight loss as the clinical trials are showing. Freedom Variant, welcome. Another newish member to the channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I really, really appreciate that. GPT did not used to be. It was only up to 2022 data. Yeah. But with ChatGPT 4 and the plugins, you can connect it. James, hello. How are you tonight? Welcome to the stream. How are you tonight? How's your son doing on Mounjaro? And Mel's heading out. So good night, Mel. Thank you for being here. So yeah, lots of interesting information. So Matt, one of our members, I haven't seen him in the chat. I haven't seen Matt in the chat tonight, but Matt usually has a really great take on a lot of the news that comes on. And so if you want, Terrence said, how do I sub? If you want to become a member of the channel, if you want to become a channel member, what you're going to do is you're going to click the description of the video. And if you click on the description of the video, you scroll down and it says, join the Emoji party, become a member. And then there's a link. Click that link and it'll take you right there. So what did Matt share? Matt shared some interesting insight. So he posited in his comment that he believes 100% that Mounjaro will be rebranded for weight loss. And he gave a pretty compelling argument to why. So apparently he has seen 3 or 4 different Mounjaro commercials over the last week come out. And each one of them specifically says this medication is not for weight loss. So he believes that they are positioning their marketing in such a way that they are separating Mounjaro for weight loss to get that out of people's mind as being a medication for weight loss. And he posits that he believes that will now become, as it hits the market, a newly named medication. So I thought that was an interesting take. And we're getting so close to this being approved for FDA authorization. Some believe as early as October, it will get that indication from the FDA. And listen, tomorrow we're in September. So that puts us within a month away. That's a three iron, and we're to October. Can you believe it's already almost October? I can't believe it. I really, really can't believe it. So we're almost there. We're almost there. Freedom Variant said, I lost 20% of body weight in 4 months and have not lost much since hitting that mark. Likely, is that all you can go? So Freedom Variant, are you diabetic? What medication are you on? And what dose are you on? Would be the questions that I have for that. Yelly's vlog became a new member. Thank you, Yelly, for becoming a member. I appreciate that. You must have found that link in the description of the video. It's good to have you here who are members of the channel and choose to give back to the channel in that way. Gerard, good evening. You hit your goal of 350 from 405. That's amazing, dude. Congratulations on that progress. That is big time progress. That is a 55-pound weight loss, and that is getting your life back, my friend. That's awesome. Congratulations. So Freedom Variant says, not diabetic, was on 2.5 for 2 months, and I'm in your 3rd month of 5. So you've only been on a therapeutic dose for 3 months. So now is the time, Freedom Variant, that I would start talking to your doctor about titrating up, because you still got so much room to climb with Mounjaro and probably more weight to lose. Hey, there's a super chat from James. Doctors are talking about muscle loss when using GLP-1s. Absolutely they are, James. So it's very important that when you take a GLP-1, you know that the weight loss that was done in these studies, it wasn't tracked whether that was fat loss or what type of fat loss, or whether it was weight loss from the reduction in muscle mass. And the fear is with any weight loss, when you have a lot of weight loss, that some of that is bound to be muscle mass. So it's very important. Two things to keep in mind, especially if you're an older person, older in age, because a reduction in muscle mass can be a very dangerous thing for somebody who's getting later in life. Prioritize protein. So if you're one of those people who really struggles to get calories in on Mounjaro, you have to prioritize protein. And even if you can't stomach it, try to get it down with a Fairlife drink. It's not the best way to consume protein, but is a way to consume protein. Make sure you're getting it. And then if you can add in and incorporate some resistance training, that is going to be super helpful to you in your journey to incorporate some resistance training, some push-ups. If you don't have weights, that doesn't mean you can't do resistance training. You can do push-ups. Anything where you're using your body weight as leverage is going to be super, super helpful to developing additional muscle mass and preserving that muscle mass along the way on your journey. Sabrina gave us super chat. Thank you for keeping us updated with all the news. Thank you for the super chat. I really, really appreciate that. It's very gracious of you. Karen became a new member. Welcome to the moon, Karen. It is good to have these new members joining this stream. Thank you for being here. Sean Akers says 2.4 million people in the greater Kansas City metro area, and not a box of Mounjaro 10 can be found at any pharmacy, including hospitals. The 10 is in shortage. It's in an FDA shortage until the end of September. So you've got to remember that it is one of the hardest doses to find, right? So there's a couple options that you can look at. You can talk to your doctor about maybe combining a couple doses to make 10, or maybe you look at moving up to the 12.5. Some people are driving a couple hours to get a 10 milligrams. So maybe look outside of the Kansas City area. Maybe you want to look up in, maybe over in, the Independence area and see if there's something over in Independence that they have for you, or drive a couple hours south and see if they have something. If you're desperate and don't want to combine doses, can't combine doses, doctor doesn't recommend combining doses, or you don't want to move up, that's a potential for you. Brett's lost 102 pounds and estimates that he's lost 6 to 8 pounds of muscle mass as part of that. Yeah, so it's a good thing to keep track of. If you can get one of those scales that scans your body, those are helpful to help you know where the weight's coming from. The chat is blowing up tonight, so thank you for all the chatting tonight. I wanted to catch, somebody said that they were new. Raina, you're new, started Trulicity in November, but too many side effects. 2 weeks ago, I switched to Mounjaro, and it's been amazing. Yeah, the side effect profile for Mounjaro is a little bit nicer for people who are on some of those older GLP-1s. And it's because Mounjaro acts on two hormones. It acts on the GLP-1 like all the other ones, but it also acts on the GIP. So it's a dual acting receptor agonist. Those are both incretin hormones that are made in your gut, responsible for satiety ultimately, in a host of other things. So congratulations on doing a little bit better with Mounjaro. It's good to hear that. If you're new here, put an N in the chat. If you have a question, the best way for me to see it is to send it in a super chat. That jumps out. There's a lot of things going on in the chat, kind of hard for me to keep up with, but we are going to move the show along here. Terrence, hey, you found the link. Terrence became a member. Thank you for those who are becoming members tonight. It is so appreciated. Those of you who choose to give back to the channel in that way and give back to the work that we do here at Man on the Mounjaro in that way. So thank you for doing that. We're going to jump into anybody in the chat, especially those of you who now have the new emojis. Does anybody in the chat know what the next segment is? Here's a hint. It's not the new one. This is one that's been around. Anybody in the chat got the emojis to know what is the next segment? I'll give you a hint. I do it every Thursday night after the stream, and I do it every night during the stream. What do? We take out the trash. I like to see the Dave's an odd duck emoji flying around in the chat. Awesome. So we got some fake news floating around this week, and thank you to Michelle Hess, because in my haste in getting ready for the show at the last minute, I was like, hey, do you got any fake news this week? And she reminded me of a podcast that I listened to earlier this week. I'm not going to name names of doctors, but there's a really prominent influencer doctor who has kind of come out against GLP-1s and said, well, they are dangerous for the heart because it's been shown that some of the GLP-1s on the market, current ones, we're not even talking about the ones that are investigational because some of those are having the same issues, can tick your heart rate up by a couple of beats per minute, right? So the interesting thing is Novo Nordisk released some top-line trial data over the last couple of weeks. They've kind of trickled out some really interesting information about people who have taken long-term 2.4 milligrams of semaglutide, Wegovy, and who have reduced cardiac events, major cardiac events by 20%. Now, we've talked about this on this channel before, so we're not going to belabor what those studies are. You can go back in my videos and check out the information from those videos and get a little bit more information. But what they're finding is not only are GLP-1s, or at least what we're certain of based upon the study, or what we have really good data on, is not only is semaglutide not bad for your heart, it's actually cardiac protective. And when this information first came out, I thought, well, that's the weight loss, right? And so I listened to the Doctors Who Lift podcast, which is Dr. Spencer Nadolsky, who started Sequence, which sold to Weight Watchers. We've covered that all on our channel before as well. But they had some really good information as from the clinical perspective. And they thought what they mentioned was that there's actually GLP-1 receptors in the heart, which I wasn't aware of. So there are GLP-1 receptors in the heart. So they actually believe that there could be something in these GLP-1 molecules that could be doing something in the heart to help protect it. So while you do see, or people can see, a little uptick in their heart beats per minute wise, what they're being shown to be is very cardiac protective in a way that will change the game with heart disease, which is the #1 killer in America, right? So just more amazing news continues to pour out about these GLP-1s, and it's going to be harder and harder and harder for the skeptics to ignore the benefits that go far beyond A1C, blood sugar control, go way beyond weight loss. They cascade into a whole host of comorbidities, the chief among them being heart disease. So amazing, amazing news. As somebody who lost my father at a young age to heart disease, I am very thrilled to know that when I take these medications, I am doing something that could have the power to prolong my life so that I'm here to experience some of the joys in life for my kids, Lord willing, that my dad wasn't able to be here for in my life. So what a great time to be alive. What a gift to be on these medications. And this is a great time to just remind everybody, because I did a video on this earlier this week, is that it's so easy to get into the comparison game, right? Not everybody who comes into this chat can say, I lost 100 pounds in 6 months, or I'm down 50 pounds in 2 months. That's not everybody's story. Certainly not my story. But Mounjaro, for me, is giving me the gift of health, of fixing my metabolic health that was profoundly broken before I came to know about these GLP-1 medications. It's fixing me metabolically. Ultimately, I think the weight loss will come, but it's giving me the opportunity to hopefully be here a lot longer for my kids than I would have been without it, right? So what a gift that is. So try to always go back and find a reason to have gratitude, because otherwise, people always say, well, don't compare, don't play the comparisons game. And I always say that's terrible advice, right? That's like right on par with eat less, move more. People are going to compare. It's like in our nature to do it. And because we're all here on social media, it's almost more of a ridiculous thing to say to people while you're on social media, because that's all we do. It may be subliminal to some people, but it feeds into comparison, which is a natural disposition of our mind. We have got to rewire our thinking and to have a disposition of gratitude, and to, when we let our minds go, to take captive of those thoughts and to shift those thoughts from thoughts of comparison to thoughts of gratitude. So, one of the things that I always try to remind myself of is there's so many people struggling just for access to these medications right now, just for access, just to have them at all. Right. So when you think about it that way, It's a blessing to be on them, whether you're on Saxenda, Victoza, semaglutide, dulaglutide, Tirzepatide, all the utides, whatever utide you're on, it's a gift to be on it. And so I just would give you that encouragement to maintain an attitude of gratitude towards your journey, towards being able to have access to these medications and that they exist at all. Because for some of us, was a pretty bleak future metabolically without them. So I'll get off my high horse. It's easy to preach sometimes because these medications are just so life-changing, and that's why you're all here. That's why we're on the pen together. So thank you for those who have become members tonight. Thank you for those who have given gifts tonight. I so appreciate it. We're about to get into the new segment. Are y'all ready for the new segment? Before we get into the new segment, I have a question for you. Who grew up on Johnny Carson? Did anybody in the chat here? I realize this is a major gear grinding shift. Who grew up on Carson, right? All up in the comments grew up on Carson. Joy grew up on Carson. Kelly, Abby, Eliza, James, Deb. Well, this is for Teresa. Teresa, who are you? Welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. Thanks for getting in the comments. All right. So I'm going to play this bumper next week. Do this real quick. We got a super chat from Sue the Dude. Thank you, buddy. Who wants to know, do the side effects increase after 7.5? So anecdotally, this tracks, I've got 4,500-ish followers on YouTube. I've got 6,500 followers on TikTok. So I'm interacting with upwards of 10,000 people who are on the GLP-1 pen, on some sort of pen. And a good number of those people are on Mounjaro. Here's what I would say to that. When I first started my journey, there was major shortages in the middle doses. And so if you followed my story, you know that I titrated up really fast on Mounjaro. In hindsight, I really wish I would have just camped out at lower doses until the middle ones were available. But life being what it was, that's not the decision that we made, and I went up. So my doctor said, as I would skip doses, he said, if you tolerate the 2.5 well, if you tolerate the 5 well, chances are you're not going to struggle as you continue to dose up in the upper levels. Like if you're going to experience side effects, you're going to experience them every time you dose up pretty much. So I would expect that when you move from the 7.5 to a higher dose, to the 10 and the 12.5 and then the 15, you're going to experience the same thing you did when you went from the 5 to the 7.5, right? And if that was nothing, I would expect it won't be much, right? So that's just anecdotally, but it tracks with what my doctor said. And I would say that if your side effects do massively increase after the 7.5, the 7.5, again, anecdotally, does seem to be a very sweet spot dose for a lot of people. I'd say the 7.5 and the 10 are where most people love. They love the 7.5 and they love the 10. So those are the ones that seem to be the sweet spot for a lot of people. So thank you to Sue for the super chat. I appreciate that. So for those of you who grew up on Carson, you might enjoy this segment. So next week, this video will have a voiceover and the whole deal. But for now, I'm going to roll the bumper and I'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your favorite YouTube pretendocrinologist, Incretin, the Magnificent. We need a clap track. Who likes my Karnak hat? Brought to you in part by the Dollar Tree and my airline blanket. Who likes the outfit? Pretty creative. I pulled it off. Sue the Dude said the joke is that he never comes back. Oh no. In this segment, as we teed it up, this segment is our way of answering the question from the community. So the community, it's okay. It's sticky. See, it's magic. I'm Karnak the Magnificent. Your favorite pretendocrinologist. Okay, so anybody remember Karnak? Anybody have any favorites from Karnak? Drop them in the chat. But this inside here, this hermetically sealed envelope that I kept in a mayonnaise jar all day. Mayonnaise in the dash of my car, right? Here's a question that I received multiple times, whether it was on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram. This was the most common question this week, right? So within this envelope, we've got a question. Let's see, I've got the pretendocrinologist, Incretin the Magnificent powers, right? So what I'm hearing is a corked wine bottle at a party no one wants to attend. A corked wine bottle at a party no one wants to attend. What side effect are we talking about here? Constipation. What do your viewers do to deal with getting backed up from Mounjaro? Well, chat, spill it. What have you done to deal with your constipation on your GLP-1 journey? Anybody? Has anybody in the chat dealt with constipation? Now, it's so interesting how different these medications hit different people, because I hear people that deal with constipation, but I also hear from people that deal with the opposite issue, with diarrhea. But for those who have dealt with constipation in the chat, dried plums, changing of a diet, prune juice, Colace, Miralax, Calm Drink, magnesium citrate. One of them that I would add that other people mention is milk of magnesia. But the most common that I hear of is going to be Miralax and Ducalax. But if you're looking for something a little bit more natural, you could hit those prunes, and those are likely to get things going. So, if you enjoyed this segment with Incretin or Incretin the Magnificent, please let me know in the chat. If we want to bring this one back, I got to know it in the chat. Thank you for those of you who participated in that as we say goodbye to Incretin the Magnificent. All right. That was fun. Be a lot easier with a helper to help me change in and out of costume. But that was fun. So thank you for Sue the Dude for helping me conceive this idea. I always wanted to. I need special music. I will next week. I could barely pull it off this week, but next week I'll add some music and theme to that bumper. We'll definitely bring him back. Thank you for those in the chat. So a little behind the scenes, right? You won't always get this with Man on the Mounjaro. I don't like to share my secrets. Cheryl gifted a Man on the Mounjaro membership. Thank you, Cheryl. That's very sweet of you. And Joy was the beneficiary of that. So welcome as a member to Joy. Thank you for those who have given gifts tonight. It's always appreciated, but it's never expected. But it's super helpful for me, encourages me to continue on in this journey, and allows me to do it. It allows me to justify the time and effort that I that I put into this, including making props. So basically, we have just one of these shower caps, compliments of the Dollar Tree. These little pom-pommy things, compliments of the Dollar Tree. And then I noticed I've never worn a shower cap before, but this laid very flat on my head. So I thought I had to poof it up. So 10 points goes to the first person that can guess what a father of 4 small children used to poof up the Karnak hat. $10 super sticker from Abby. And if you were a member on the pre-show, don't give it away. Thank you, Abby, for that super sticker. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate that. Any guesses as to what gave the Karnak hat the poof? Socks. All right, good question. Good guess. Now remember, the hint is I'm a father of 4 small children. I'm going to give it about 10 more seconds. Hey, KD! That's a 10 point to KD. Those are diapers. And because we're resourceful, these are all used diapers. So I'm not wasting these. Good times. So we'll bring Karnak back. Well, sorry. We will bring back Incretin the Magnificent next week. It was diapers. Thank you again for the super sticker, Abby. That's very sweet of you. So that's what we got tonight, right? Chrissy's out sick tonight with a migraine, so we don't have Chrissy. Oh, man, that's awfully nice of you, James. James with a super chat as well, $10 super chat. Thank you very much. Oh, you know what I forgot is I forgot all about the shot. Got to take the shot. I don't even have it down here with me. If you all want, I can go get the shot and we can do the shot. If you don't care, maybe I'll just wait. Take it off screen. Choose for myself for a week. But usually we do the biggest super chat of the night. Gets to choose where I inject the Mounjaro pen. I don't even know who that would be. There's been so many gifts tonight. Oops. So yeah, no guest tonight, but we did the Karnak there, the Incretin the Magnificent instead. That was fun. We'll do it again. James says, thanks for all that you do, Dave. Thank you, James. I will open it up for a few minutes here before we wrap it up for any questions. If anybody has any questions at all. I did hear from Amy 2.0 in a comment on one of my YouTube videos today. And Amy said, thank you for the offer to come on the channel. That was very sweet. So she's around. I did ask her if she wants me to share a way to reach out to her or get in touch with her. I'm not sure exactly what she's doing, but if she gets back to me on that, we'll share that with you all next week. This is a little Amy 2.0 update. Yeah, Amy is a sweet gal. So such a bummer. Yeah, Dave has Yelly reminded me that James has done multiple super chats. That's right. So James is, I think maybe James was last week or the week before. Is she on Facebook, Natalie? Natalie says Amy's on Facebook. So if you want to connect with Amy, maybe you can find her over on Facebook. Just do a search over there. She might be over there. So yeah, now's a good time too. Sometimes I forget to mention that the best conversations about GLP-1s happen on BJ Davis's Discord. So you can find BJ's Discord at davisdiscord.com. Anna says that I'm awesome. Thank you, Anna. You're awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a member of the channel. Lil Chi, is it Lil Chi or Lil Shy, like Chi-Town? Let's see. What did Spinster Sisters here? Hey, y'all. Has anybody had issues with pens misfiring? I did. Amy Danae, D-A-N-A-E. Yeah, so Spinster Sister, just call Eli Lilly. They have a customer care number. You're going to call that number. You're going to tell them what happened. They'll probably tell you to keep the pens in case they want you to send them in. And they should send you in a new box, a replacement box. Amy has her own Facebook group. Wasn't a big, I wonder if Big Pharma is planning to take down. It could be. I don't even want to posit why out loud on the channel, but who knows? Who knows? It's just unfortunate that people can just have what they worked really hard for just taken away. I think that's ridiculous. Eli already told me that I received my med, so they denied me. What? I had one misfire. I called. They sent in a replacement box. So I don't know what that you received your med. You didn't receive it if they misfired. So call again and talk to somebody else. Sometimes this is the frustrating thing about calling for help anywhere. Is like if you get an idiot, you're screwed. So I always, if I don't get the answer that I don't, if I get an answer that I don't like from some customer support over the phone, I call back. I call back until I get that one competent person who can understand what I'm trying to do or what's going on, and they actually want to help. So I'd call again. I would definitely call again. Derek moved from 12.5, and now you have major food noise. Move from the 10 to 12.5. 10 might be your sweet spot. 10 might be your sweet spot. So I heard it explained by another doctor is that when you have too much of a GLP-1, it's kind of like a bunch of cars trying to go down one lane. You get like a 5-car pile up on your receptors, and then your receptors don't know what to do with it. And then they start making more receptors. And so this can be a bad cascade. So you don't want too much GLP-1. So it might be that 10 was a good dose for you. You might want to think about talking to your doctor about going back. Now, if you're type 2 diabetic, it's a different story because then we consider all the other reasons that as a diabetic you would take a GLP-1. So how is it affecting your diabetes if you're diabetic? James goofed and didn't take the cap off, and they still send him a replacement. Yeah, so Spinster, you just got to call and talk to somebody else. How is 7.5 availability? So the 7.5 availability is the same as the 10. It's in shortage until the end of September, so it's going to be intermittently hard to find. The dude with another super chat. If we only had beef of the week, Dave. All right. Beef of the week we can add. We just got to find another. I wanted to work Karnak in. VG. I don't recognize that name. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for all you do for this community. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you for the gifts tonight, friends. I tell you what. I am going to, what am I going to do? Let's see if I have something. I'm going to roll let's see if I have a bumper that I can just roll while I'm gone. I'm going to roll a bumper for a minute, and I'm going to go get my shot. How's that sound? And we'll do the shot, and then we'll call it a night. And if you have any questions, you can shoot a super chat over. I'll scroll through. I'll be able to catch it and answer it before we get off here, but I'm going to roll that. I'm going to go get the shot, and then James can let me know where I'm taking that shot tonight because he had multiple super chats tonight. So let's put this up here. I'll be back. I'm back. Shot in hand. Oh my goodness, Spinster. Thank you for the super chat. Happy to be part of the Mounjaro crew. Thank you for being a member, and thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for the super chat. Kelly with the super sticker. Thank you, Kelly. I think Kelly, is that your second super chat as well? Sheesh. Thank you. Thank you so much for the generous gifts tonight. I appreciate y'all. Spinster said what Eli told me. I told them, no reaction from 2 shots. I know the third one did take because of the blood. It immediately dry mouth. Other 2, nothing. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so James, thank you for the super chats, super stickers tonight. You've all been very generous to me. Thank you so much. Thank you for those who have become members tonight as well. James, where would you like me to take this 12.5 shot? It's your choice tonight. Mia Bella, welcome. Peter, hey, Peter's back. Yeah, Peter, a couple people answered you when the show started, so I'll answer your question. Peter was asking about chills on Mounjaro. The way that it's been explained to me is it's changes in your hormones. So you mostly are going to feel those chills, if you're going to feel them, when you first start Mounjaro, and then every time you dose up, because it just changes in your hormones. People can also feel those as they lose weight, but usually that's because as you lose weight, there's hormonal changes that come with that as well. James loves the stomach. All right. So we're going to do the stomach again. All right, here we go. All right. Done deal. Another week on the moon. Do a shot at night and sleep through it. Yeah. Thank you, James. Appreciate that. Yeah, and Peter, thanks for being here. Are you new here? If you're new here, make sure that you hit that subscribe button before we go tonight. This has been a fun show. This show I was worried about before I started because I was very tired. Thank you, James. He said, I hope 12.5 works for you and no headaches. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. I hope it continues to work well for you and for your son. Yeah, Spinster, definitely call back. Vanessa, thanks for being here. Thank you for being members of the channel. I think pretty much everybody that's in here is a member, so thank you for being members. Yeah, hit that like button. I don't know if hit that like button before you go. That helps the algorithm. And then once the show is done, come back and make a comment and just let people know how good the show was. The comments from the chat while the show's on, don't stay with it after it posts when we're done. So if you could just go back and give it a comment and let people know about it. Thank you for being the best part of this channel. Thank you for all the generous gifts tonight. Kelly, Spinster, James, VG, who I don't even remember being here before, but thank you, VG, for being here, unless you changed your name. Sue the Dude, as always, I appreciate it. Abby, I know I'm probably going to miss some of you, but if you gave a gift tonight, I think Cheryl gave a subscription to the channel as well. Terrence became a member. We had several new members tonight. Karen became a member. Sabrina gave a gift. Yelly became a member. Man, lots of fun things happened on the stream tonight. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being the best part of what we do here at Man on the Mounjaro. We'll probably do another live at some point in the next 7 days before we do On the Pen again next week. Thank you for being here and being the best part of this channel. And if you need to reach out to me during the week, I have an email. It's mounjaroman@gmail.com. You can also visit my website, which is onthepen.com. And you can send me a message through the website as well. I get it. I try to respond as much as I can to everything. Life gets a little bit crazy sometimes. It gets a little bit harder to do from time to time. But you can also catch me at onthepen.com. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being the best part of what we do at Man on the Mounjaro. And until next week, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a great week on the pen, folks. And we'll meet back here to do it all again next week. Bye.